Yo, what's up, everybody? It's time for the official round of confirming or debunking all these rumors and leaks y'all might have seen the past couple of days, weeks, months. And I have a very special guest. He's back from the dead. This guy has
Yeah.
disappeared. This guy fought Frieza, bro. This guy took 8 episodes to get back. So, introduce yourself, man.
What's up, guys? Nah, it's Larry Bud. Like back with Frank. It's been a long time since I've been on and around. But glad to be here.
Yeah, so now, today, Pokemon dropped an official trailer, mostly as a Pokemon Presents. Personally, I really don't care about the rest of the other stuff, um, except for Scarlet and Violet. So we're gonna get straight into it. We're gonna talk about the legendary Pokemon. The obviously those are the box art Pokemon, and it's really cool that you actually get to ride these new Pokemon, which is something we haven't really seen. I mean, we have seen like rideable Pokemon and all that stuff, but when you look at the trailer and you look at the screenshots, it reminds me a lot like when they were able to fly. It reminds me a lot like the soaring Latios and Latias from Oras, which was a pretty cool mechanic or feature in the game that opens up exploration of the game. And it's kind of sick that you're able to basically traverse water. You can obviously ride on like a motorcycle or whatever. Then you can climb walls, which is kind of giving me like that Breath of the Wild esque from Legend of Zelda. Overall, these Pokemon do look pretty cool, and I'm kind of glad the designs make it seem like, yeah, these Pokemon do more than just one thing. And for what the Pokemon are worth, they do look pretty damn good. I'm kind of curious to see the reasoning why these Pokemon even exist. Like, I know they represent the past and future, so I'm very curious to see the lore behind these two legendary Pokemon.
Yeah, I kind of feel like there's probably gonna be no lore. It just seems like it's like I don't know, just like the feel of it. Like it seems like you get these early in the game. It feels like okay, they're like man-made or something, and it's like you can either use one that's like modeled over the past, or you can use the one that's modeled over like the future. But it just feels like I don't know. They just don't really feel like legendaries to me. Like they just kind of feel just like it honestly feels like they might be your starter. It's like slash HM slave. Like I don't know. Like we'd have to wait for like stats or something. Like they're probably broken as fuck. Oh shit. But like I don't know. It's like I'm still not 100% sold on them. Like I like the design, but it's just like there's just something about them that is just a little like kind of off. Like they're just missing that like that feel that like Alugia and Ho-Oh have, or like Dialga and Palkia.
Right, and I'm kind of glad you actually did bring up like them. I don't see them being an HM slave because just by looking at these screenshots, it seems like HMs are not going to be in this game. Because if these Pokemon are traversing through like everything, then I don't think there's really
Oh
a
yeah, like
point with HMs.
oh
But
yeah,
you do bring the good point, like whether these Pokemon are going to be good or not, because it seems like they're showing us stuff that is going to be like very apparent in the game rather than us telling us, oh, these Pokemon can do these only if you catch them like late game, which that's very strange. That's a very strange way of marketing, especially they're the box cover Pokemon, and
yeah.
oftentimes these box Pokemon are very broken in terms of stat distribution. But I don't know. We'll see what their story is behind. Or maybe it's going to be like, oh, you have this legendary Pokemon from the very beginning, and you don't know what it is. You don't know what it does. Until like I don't know, you go through the story and you unlock, several features or how to use it properly.
Yeah, probably something like that. Like
Yes.
we both have the article pulled up, I think, but I'm looking at the picture of I can't remember the red one, and
Yeah.
like it looks like the red one in the picture is like it's actually using the wheels instead of
Correct.
when we saw the trailer, it was like running, which was that was disappointing to see it running with like these two wheels obviously in front of it. Like
Right.
I don't know, it just felt weird.
Yeah. So, well, hopefully, the story makes sense. I mean, it's an
Yeah.
open world story, so we'll see how they are able to deal with that. All right, and then the very last article they talk about. You can customize your character. Wow, congrats. Welcome to 2014. Like, Jesus Christ, we don't really care about that. And then, let's see here. Okay, so the biggest thing. Oh, actually, we're gonna talk about the oldest school of the region. I mean, just looking at the crest and just looking at the names, this pretty much confirms that this region is definitely inspired by Spain. I
Yeah.
mean, the largest city is called Mesagosa, and there actually is a city in Spain called Saragossa. So obviously, we can see the resemblance there, and it seems like you could take your Pokemon to school. I hope it's not like one of those schools like, oh, it's the first thing you experience in the first part of the Pokemon game. They tell you how to play the game, even though you've played this game for like 26 years or whatever. And so, just looking at it,
Oh,
at least we got more characters, like rather than like the typical NPCs, like, oh, this is a random teacher in this school. Like, there's actual characters that have their own unique personalities from what we saw in the trailers, and there's a lot of characters, so hoping they flesh them out pretty good. I'm going to assume it's gonna be like a kind of one and done thing. Once you like go through the school or whatever mission you have to do in there, like they're not gonna show up in the rest of the game, which kind of sucks. But I do think that maybe more characters will give more, you know, more creativity to see
yeah.
like where the story is gonna be. But other than that, like obviously, if you're playing specific versions of the game, you get different schools and you get different characters or their appearances look different, which I guess is cool. That means it can incentivize, choosing one game or the other. But that's obviously gonna depend on the version exclusive Pokemon that you can catch in the game. So I'm not really too crazy about characters that are probably not gonna matter.
Yeah. For me, it's like with the characters, I kind of wish that we like whoever the rival is, the rival actually feels like a rival. Like we haven't had a good rival in a while, and like they haven't revealed it yet. But I mean, with whoever the evil team is or whatever, like hopefully that actually feels like an evil team. But since we're basically in this game, like I guess school children, I kind of feel like it probably won't be. It might be like a rival school or something. Is like I miss like having like what was it Team Rocket, Team Magma, even like Team Flare was like actually felt like an actual evil organization compared to was it the Skull Gang and like Sun and Moon, and then we had who was it in the last game? The mascots or whatever.
Right. And also on top of that, like when you talk about the villain team, this would have been a really good, given the theme of past and present, this would have been a really good game where the audience is it targets the audience in a more mature way. Like you can if there is time travel, which I'm not really sure. There probably is, based on what we've seen so far. This would have been a really good game just to have a finally a mature Pokemon game where, because time, past and present, you can do a lot of stuff. Like you can go into the past and solve, whatever problems is going on in the Pokemon world that's affected today, or you go in the future to prevent a disaster or whatever. You can have some really dark themes with that as well, but obviously Pokemon's not gonna do that because they gotta sell this shit to little kids, little Timmy, making sure he's not gonna be, you know, scared of a Pokemon game of all things. So that's something that could have been something they could have had in the storyboards, but I'm cool with what I'm seeing so far. And yeah, and the other thing that I did not, well, one thing I didn't like about the trailer is that the frames per second on certain things in the
Oh
game
yeah.
is just like holy crap. I don't know why they did not learn their lesson from Legends Arceus with the Chingling. I think that was the Pokemon that was like floating like in five frames per second. But then when you see
Yeah.
the first trailer of this game, it was also having problems with frames per second. And then in this trailer, we also saw other things that were not even clocking at 30 frames per second, which is very worrisome. Which means that probably the Nintendo Switch is just too old at this point, and the Switch is already plus years old at this point in time. And unless they make a Switch Pro or they make another powerful Nvidia chip for this to use, uh, this game doesn't seem like it's gonna be the best graphical game.
Oh yeah, not at all. Sorry.
Yeah, and now we're gonna talk about the biggest thing that was revealed. I mean, we did get new Pokemon, but I think the new Pokemon. Oh, I mean, I don't know if there's an actual article of new Pokemon, which it's right here,
Yeah.
Pokemon right here. Um, I didn't even think they even showed the Pokemon. Wow, well, screw them. um, wow, they didn't even talk about the Pokemon. That's crazy. But anyways,
Yeah, I think they're
no.
like scattered around in different articles.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about the biggest reveal of the game, I think personally, which is a new mechanic. Everybody wanted to know what the new mechanic was, whether Z moves are coming back, or Mega Evolution's coming back, or Dynamax is coming back. A lot of leakers were saying that there was gonna be a new mechanic that's based on boosting the quote unquote stab moves or typing of the Pokemon, and that's what it turned out to be. It's called Terrestrial Phenomenon or Terrestrialize, which is essentially your Pokemon just gets iced the fuck out, have some bling on top of their head or whatever, and so essentially what happens is that now it kind of sounds like a Pokemon gets a third typing or a hidden type. And so it says here that all the Pokemon that are native to Paldea region can get this Terra type, which basically seems like if your Pokemon is from Pokemon Home, tough luck. You're not probably gonna get one unless they
Oh, I didn't
introduce
think
those
about that.
Pokemon. Yeah, unless they introduce this Pokemon from, let's say, because the Hisuian Zoroark, I'm pretty sure some Pokemon like that are coming through Pokemon Home unless there is a portal or whatever in the game that lets you get the Hisuian Pokemon. That's what it seems sounds like to me. But we did see those Pokemon in game, so probably they will get it. And so you can catch any Pokemon with the Terra typing as long I believe they don't really say this, but I'm pretty sure the typing is gonna be based on its move pool. Because I'm assuming, like for example, an Eevee is not gonna be able to have, for example, a Psychic Terra type because it can't learn Psychic moves in its move pool unless you get it to an Espeon, which that would make sense. But I am a bit confused on the this mechanic because it sounds like they're getting a new typing, or the typing is just gonna or the Terra type is just gonna delete the other two typings and just give it a powerful stab. Um, from what it seems, from what we know so far, it just sounds like Z moves, but you can only use Z moves if this Pokemon is is specific type, and it has to learn the move of the typing in order to use it. For example, say like I had this example in my previous video. Say for example a Salamence. A Salamence can learn Earthquake, and so now if I catch a Salamence with the Terra typing of Ground, it essentially gets a powerful ground stab move. So I don't know. I'm still debating whether or not the Terra typing like overrides the other two typings or it just adds onto it. It doesn't really say
Yeah, that
here at
math is
all.
gonna be annoying. Like factoring a third typing.
Yeah. So competitive wise, this can go either way. I think it's gonna be broken because they always make these mechanics dumb as shit. The biggest argument you can make against this mechanic is, well, now you cannot have a specific Pokemon counter specific Pokemon. For example, I'm gonna use Salamence as always because Salamence the goat. So say, for example, you have a Salamence. It's Electric Terra type because it has Thunder Fang and it's going up against a Toxapex. And Toxapex, everyone knows, is the fattest Pokemon alive. It is a scummy ass Pokemon. It can take so many hits. Unless Salamence is getting Dragon Dances up, or if the Toxapex have haze, you're not going to beat it one on one. Well, now this Salamence here, a Terra typing with electric with Thunderfang, now it starts, it can essentially counter the Toxapex in a much effective way. So I'm wondering whether or not that will change. I mean, for sure it's going to change competitive, metagame wise, because you can't, like I would say, if like every year or every season of Pokemon, whether it's singles or VGC, there's always the top 6, top 10 Pokemon that always dominate metagames that they just don't go anywhere because they're just so good. You have to have them on your team in order to win. But now you have Pokemon here that can counter those Pokemon using the Terra stylizing mechanic, whatever. And now those Pokemon cannot deal with those other Pokemon properly, and you have to play mind games. Like, oh my God, now your opponent has to see, oh my God, is this what type of Terra type is this Pokemon? Like, can I even counter it? Should I risk it? And they did say it's gonna be more strategy into like covering weaknesses or taking advantage of your matchup. So that's pretty cool. Um, do I think it's gonna be broken? Probably not, unless the terastallizing. I'm pretty sure it's once per battle, and it only endures throughout the entire battle. Because I don't think it says here, you can use this mechanic once per battle.
Yeah, it's once per battle.
Oh,
They
yeah. Oh,
posted
yeah. You know
about
what
it.
it says right here. Okay, so that's
Yeah,
cool.
thankfully.
Yeah. Okay, so if that's the case, then I don't think it's going to be necessarily broken. I just feel like it just sounds like Z moves to me. Like you can use it once for battle. If there's a Pokemon you cannot counter, this move or this mechanic will definitely, you know, break that matchup. So I guess it's pretty cool. I guess it's not something broken like Dynamax, where I thank God is we didn't get Dynamax in this game, cause oh Lord, I cannot
Yeah.
imagine the shenanigans that would happen.
So one of the things I saw was like predictions from somebody else was that like if you do like a terror type of like say you're already water and then you do a terror type, your stab goes from 1.5 to 2.
Right.
So that would be pretty interesting to have like do it that way. But like for like I think it'll definitely be something like how they always do it. Like this will hurt singles more than it'll hurt doubles, like in every way, shape, or form. But like if you can change typings, I don't know if there's like limitations. I know with one of the leaks I saw like people can't change into a typing that they're weak against, but I mean that could have been a misunderstanding or completely fake because if like let's say you have like a Salamence against like a what's something I can think of Ghastly Gengar, and
Yeah.
then you have your Salamence turned into like normal, and now like Gengar can't really touch it or something. So it's like, it's definitely one of those things where like it can kind of redefine like checks and balances in singles, like to where like something now becomes untouchable for a bit against your team because of like it already has like a naturally good typing, or then like now it can really just kind of hit through anything that might have been like a 3K hit KO because now it's like instead of 1.5 stab, it's now 2 stab. And it can help stuff like with the like how the Pikachu got the flying type. Now Pikachu's immune from ground types. So it's like it's definitely something that's gonna kind of like bring up a lot of like kind of annoying situations, but I'm looking forward to it, at least for now.
Yeah, and so that's a pretty good analysis because now you have to be careful in team building. Like, do I want to bring something that will surprise the opponent, or do I want to bring something that, oh my God, it's gonna go up against the top 5 of the metagame at that point in time. So I'm still gonna need a lot more. I even after all this explanation, Jesus Christ, um, I'm still a bit confused about what happens to your typing. From what I understand, is if you have a Terra type, let's say for example you're a Venusaur and you're obviously grass and poison. If you have a Terra type of grass or a Terra type of poison, the stab move is essentially adaptability boosted, which is double. And
Yep.
then if you have let's say your Venusaur has Earth power and you're a Terra type is Earth, then you have a 1.5 stab boost in Ground type, which I think that's what it's saying. And like I said, I still have to see it in practice just to see like how that
Yeah.
works. And I guess you are a singular type when you're doing the mechanic or whatever. But I would have to see more of this in practice because this doesn't make. Well, I mean, it makes sense for me, but they gotta flesh this talk. They gotta flesh
Yeah.
out the description a little bit more because I'm not
If we go
100% on that.
singular type, I feel like that will probably be the most balanced because like now if you switch to a singular type, you gain something and you lose something. So it's like it kind of like and it's so much easier. Like I don't really doing like calcs with like three different typings factored in is just going to be obnoxious. Like I
Yeah.
can't do that mental math. Like that damage calculator is going to get pulled up every single time.
Yeah, and I think I think for the Pokemon damage calculator, what they're probably gonna do is just add a tab. Is this a stab boost Terra or whatever? And I mean they can figure it
Yeah,
out. They've been doing it for years. I mean,
just more variables
yeah,
of that mental math, and I don't think that's going to happen. Like,
yeah. So
but
pretty cool idea overall. I at this point in time, depending on I just don't think it's gonna be necessarily broken, but it's gonna be really good in changing the way you play Pokemon. This is kind of like
yeah,
if I rec- it's kind of like what people wanted from previous generations with the inverse battles or the one type only battles where you could change them during the game, which is pretty cool. So I guess that's a pretty cool mechanic. But until I see it in practice, it just doesn't really make a lot of
dude,
sense to me.
adaptability Landers T.
Yeah, I nah. I hope he's not. I mean, I feel like he's gonna bring him back, but I hope he's not in the game. I mean, they're specific. Oh, dude, like Arceus is gonna be fucking broken as hell if it's in the
Yeah.
game, especially if it's the Arceus that knows that if it has the multi plate or whatever from
Yep.
Legends Arceus, that's gonna be broken as fuck. I mean, they'll definitely have Game Freak will definitely have to look in the Pokédex to be like, oh, yeah, we can't bring some of these Pokemon back because they're gonna be so fucking disgusting. Especially Pokemon that can boot, like that have Beast Boost or Soul Heart or whatever. Like, nah, bro, like that's crazy. There's certain Pokemon that have no business in dealing with their
These
counters.
kind of boosts. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. All right, and then along with the Terrastall mechanic, we also have raid battles. So it's not Dynamax, and I'm pretty sure the reason why they brought this back is one, they want to enhance their multiplayer besides running around the region, and two, I mean, no cap, like in the beginning of Sword and Shield, like raid battles were actually fun. Like you get to,
Yeah.
you know, team up with people. We get to abuse these dens, whatever. Which I have a feeling it's gonna be the exact same, almost
Yeah.
the nearest same coding. I mean, looking at the
Uh,
screenshots alone, like you can definitely see. And they
bots will be back.
finally, yeah, and they finally give you an option of challenging these Pokemon alone, rather than relying on dumbass NPCs or random online people, which is pretty
What's
cool.
the Soul Rock guy? Was it Mark or something like that?
I think it's Marcus. I believe that was his name. Yeah, man. Like I'd rather challenge certain Pokemon on my own. Like especially not the 4 or 5 stars. Probably I might need help, but like the lower ones, like nah, bro. I got this. Like I know my typing. I know how to play this game. Like I don't really need any help. So it
Yeah.
kind of seems like it's gonna be the same mechanic as in Dynamax. You have to go find something in the area to activate it, which is it literally says a sparkling pillar of light, which is literally the same thing that was in Sword and Shield. So 10 out of 10 creativity, and then you got to challenge the Pokemon, of course, coordinate your attacks. So obviously you need Nintendo Switch Online to interact with people with other games. Of course you need to have that because how the fuck can you even play Pokemon without it? So now we have the multiplayer, which is pretty cool, but we got to see more of the multiplayer in the region.
Yeah, I'm glad they brought these raids back because like raids are pretty much what gave Sword and Shield any kind of longevity. Like people
Correct.
still do raid battles all the time, but it's just like it definitely is like Sword and Shield for as bad as the game was. It's like it had the best like multiplayer player experiences. I'm glad they moved on with that and like brought it into another game instead of like letting it die, which I fully expected them to do.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
All right. My God, my fucking throat's killing me.
Oh shit.
Holy shit. All right. And then last
Yeah.
thing. Holy crap. Um, we're gonna talk about the early purchase bonus. Pretty cool. You get a Pikachu that knows Fly. Um, I mean, Fly Pikachu has been around for a long ass time, but it looks pretty cool. Like I like the design of the Terrastal Pokemon. Probably like I said, when they reveal more information, we're gonna discuss more about it because we do need to find. We still need to find out what Pokemon are coming back in the game or what new Pokemon we're gonna get. And probably in another video, once the entire Pokedex is released, we'll get to talk about like all the Pokemon. Like for example, we did end up getting like I would say what 3, 4 new Pokemon in this trailer, which I don't think it's really worth discussing about it
Yeah.
at all. So pretty cool. Um, yeah, overall, I was impressed from the amount of information that we got from the trailer at this point in time. Which makes sense because if you recall, Sword and Shield, the Dynamax, all that information came out in E3, which obviously doesn't exist anymore, and that happened around I want to say July 2019. That's when the Dexit crap started happening with the community and all that shit. So overall,
Yeah.
I was impressed. I was impressed with the amount of information that we got, and I'm glad they talked more about the legendary Pokemon and that they're basically like freaking motorcycles or they're freaking transversing like different areas. So overall, I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, I definitely I'm still I'm like I like the trailer. I'm still kind of iffy. I don't know, just because like I've been like following the leaks heavily, so like I'm probably a bit spoiled on information. But like I think like hopefully we get even more revealed later on down the line, like get more things like explained and stuff, because it's just there's still so much like new stuff that it's just like there's still so many questions left unanswered, and the way they operate, we'll hear about it in October.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like whoever leaks the information is like they have to be working within Game Freak because there's just no
Oh
way,
yeah.
bro. There's too many things that are adding up, bro. It's like how do you know that, bro? And this information isn't like new per se because some of the information was from like a few months ago, which is insane.
Dude, somebody leaked the everything that happened in the present today last night.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's
This has to be like some Game Freak insider.
oh yeah, oh 100%.
Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna be sharing this video everywhere. Apologies, my throat kind of just went like death on me anyway.
Yeah,
So yeah. So special thanks to Larry for showing up today. I know it's been a
no
while.
problem.
Hopefully, we'll get to see more of his videos being posted up very soon. I think, like I said, it's a dead period for Pokemon because nobody
Yeah,
wants to play
for
Sword and Shield
releases.
anymore. Like, I mean, the metagame is like about 3 years old, so it's like, no, I ain't trying to play Pokemon like that at that point. But once the game comes out, I think we're gonna see a lot more activity, especially like probably like the week leading up to it is where we get all the information
Oh
like
yeah,
coming
people
out.
start getting the game early and stuff like that, like prom leak season.
Right, yeah. Oh, I did just show the region itself. If you look up from the all news, you can see a picture of the region, which looks kind of cool. It's you could see like there's a snow part and all that stuff. So looks like Larry dropped out, I think. But anyways, appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys. Um, yeah, everything looks pretty damn cool with the game, and can't wait to see you guys on the next video. Peace.